Today, I bought a ton of fake LEGO droid sets and minifigures off AliExpress in hopes of building up a huge army for my collection. And I only have 24 hours to build everything before the droid army we have assembled will have to face the clone army of the Republic. Warning, it gets very epic. So let's begin in hour 1 with the only set in the video that includes a box art with a droid troop carrier. This set cost me around $25 and includes a ton of battle droids, but it looks like maybe they were throwing it around in China because the box is pretty damaged. Anyway, let's open this thing up and start building. So here's just the droid carrier built up without the figures, so we can take a look at the build first. And I gotta say, it looks pretty good for a fake LEGO Star Wars set. Comparing it to the 2015 official LEGO version, it's not as sleek of a design, so I'd say this build is probably the equivalent of like a 2010 LEGO design. Anyway, let's get into the fun part and build up all of our droids to fill the troop carrier. Wow, look at all those droids. That's 32 droids total fitting on a $25 build, which that fact alone is insane, but look at this play feature. You can set the droids down into battle just like the MTTs do in the Phantom Menace, which is honestly so cool. Not to mention, we do get 2 droidicas with this set as well to help support our B1 battle droids. All in all, for $25, I think this set is more than worth it, and I'd honestly be happy if LEGO released this same set with an updated build design for $40 to $50. Because 32 droids in one set is unheard of. Anyway, let's add this set to our collection and continue in hour 2. Now that our droid army has a vehicle, I think it's time we start building the bulk of our army. So here is a wide range of different battle droids, all coming in separate bags that cost around 30 cents per droid and came in different packs. So let's build up all the B1 droids first, and then we'll get to the more special droids.
1 hour later.
So it's been about an hour, and I finally have all of our regular B1 droids built on the base plate, with almost 100 droids ready to battle the Republic. But let's build up some special droid variants to add some color to our army. And now that we have our B1 droid variants built up, let's compare these to their official LEGO counterparts. On the left is the official LEGO droid, and on the right are the knockoff ones. And while some of these are easier to spot the difference, some older droids like this commander look nearly identical to the fake version. Anyway, now that we have the bulk of our regular B1 droid army built up, let's build some more special droids. First, we have some B2 super battle droids, but as you can probably tell, they're way off in color, being more black than that metallic gray color the official LEGO version is. Next, we have what I thought were Geonosis battle droids at first, but it looks like they're just a hodgepodge of different colored droid parts, so maybe they're defects from the droid factory. Moving on, we actually have some commando droids, which do look a bit off, but I guess they're not horrible. They're pretty similar to the official LEGO version, but I think you can tell which one is better. But getting into some droids that aren't really in the Separatist droid army, we have some assassin droids, which also look pretty good, but their blasters are straight up garbage. Like, these are the cheapest looking blasters I've ever seen, and honestly, the plastic feels horrible on these guys. I would definitely not recommend buying these if you're going to purchase knockoff droids. And now that we have a ton of droids to go into battle, I think we need someone to lead them. So here we have not 1, not 2, but 10 General Grievuses. Yeah, so like every pack of droids came with a General Grievous, so I kinda had to buy a ton of them, but for the sake of this video, I'll only be building up 1 white version and 1 tan version, so here they are. First, looking at the tan version, it actually looks pretty spot on in my opinion. There's some wear and tear on the print, but that actually makes him look weathered from battle, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Yet again, the downfall with this figure is going to be the weapons he comes with. These cheap lightsabers just aren't it. The hilt color is wrong, and the sabers look really weird. Next, let's build up the white Episode 3 version of General Grievous, and yikes, this one is pretty rough. Not only is the torso print really bad, but what is going on with his eyes? He looks like he didn't sleep at all throughout the whole Clone Wars.
This is trash.
And of course, the lightsabers are still absolute garbage. Unfortunately, I don't have an official General Grievous figure to compare these ones to, but I think you guys get the picture. Anyway, I'm super happy with how big our droid army is so far, so let's add these newer droids to our army and continue in hour 5. Now that it's hour 5, we have a pretty good amount of droid figures, but I think what we're missing is some more builds. So let's build 2 of these AAT droid tanks that are actually packaged in a pretty fun way. It looks like we have to scan the QR code and build these with online instructions, so let's build these up and see how they look. Now that I have them all built up, I gotta say, they're a bit smaller than I was expecting, but they still do look really nice, and comparing them to the most recent official LEGO AAT, there are some very clear differences, especially with the main cannon size being way shorter and more accurate on the custom mocks versus the official LEGO model. And you can tell the custom models are made more for display than play, because you can't even seat a droid down in the top hatch. It's kind of disappointing. Anyway, now that we have some more builds in our army, I think it's time to add more to our droid minifigures in hour 7. In hour 7, I was looking at our army so far and thought, it looks great, but I think we have enough B1 battle droids. We need an army of B2 super battle droids if we're going to stand a chance against the Republic's clone army. So I built up a ton of new super battle droids on a whole different base plate, and honestly, while I was building these, I forgot just how many I'd purchased because, wow, there's a lot of these guys. Anyway, for about 20 cents each, these don't look too bad, even though they're black instead of gray.
What do you mean by that?
They each come with rocket arms and still look good for what they are. I think we added some much needed backbone to our droid army, and I can't wait to add more in hour 8. In hour 8, I thought it was time to build some more unique droids, with various different buzz droids, tactical droids, and special super battle droids, with the highlights definitely being these tactical droids and special super battle droids. I don't have the official LEGO tactical droid for comparison, but I'm sure you can tell it looks pretty spot on for a knockoff, and I'm so happy to have this droid in my collection because he's pretty expensive to purchase if you want the official version. And the super battle droids look amazing with the red dot printed and special markings to show they're jet troopers and not regular super battle droids. Not to mention, they're actually the correct color. But the buzz droids are kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I'd probably like them if they were much smaller, but they are so big they don't even look like Lego at this point.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
But I think these droids are an amazing addition to the army overall, and I can't wait to see how our army grows in hour 9. So in hour 9, I realized we could definitely use some more vehicles in the army because I don't know if a bunch of droids and a few AAT tanks can take on the looming threat of the Republic. So I bought an Octopara Tri-Droid mock that actually came with these paper instructions and way less pieces than I thought would be included. So let's build this thing up and see if we actually have all of the pieces. Okay, I have it built now, and as you can see, we actually received every piece we needed to build the set. It just didn't look like a lot at first. Anyway, the Tri-Droid looks absolutely amazing. Like, it was pulled right out of episode 3, and I could not be more happy with it. And because of some of the building techniques and weird coloring on the instructions, it actually took me about an hour to build this droid, believe it or not. So I'll be back in hour 10. So in hour 10, I still wasn't completely satisfied with our droid army because there just seems to be too many minifigures compared to builds. And because I didn't receive the 2 Hailfire droids and Spider droid in time for the video, I'm gonna just pull the official LEGO ones from my collection and use them in the army because they're pretty much identical to the knockoff models anyway. And wow, just looking at the Hailfire droids next to the Spider droid, I'm really getting Kashyyyk vibes. I wish LEGO would make a new Hailfire droid and Spider droid attack on Kashyyyk set. Anyway, now our army looks much more complete, so there's only a few more things to add in hour 11. On hour 11, I realized General Grievous doesn't really have anyone to guard him. That's right, we're definitely missing some Magna droids. So I built 1 Magna droid in each color with black, chrome silver, and interestingly enough, blue? Now I don't have official LEGO Magna Guards to compare these ones to, but I think you can clearly see they look really dang cool. And even their electro staffs are decked out. But unfortunately, even though these probably look better than the official LEGO version, they are not designed for play at all because the electro staff pieces are constantly moving and falling off, and the plastic capes on the Magna Guards are pretty restrictive. Next, I built up more commando droids, except these are the training version used by clone troopers. So I know they technically wouldn't be used in battle, but they look so cool, and I really wanted some ever since LEGO released the Kamino training set back in May. Compared to official commando droids, they're obviously a completely different color, but as far as design goes, they're very similar, and I'm actually a pretty big fan of these guys. And finally, I have yet again another General Grievous, but this time a battle damage variant with different scars and scratches all over his body. He also comes with this plastic red cape, which looks nice, but again is super restrictive for play, so it probably wouldn't work with a real LEGO figure. But now that we have our droid army complete and ready for war, I'm going to get a full night of rest before the big battle, while both sides prepare to fight each other. And now that we are in hour 24, let the battle begin. The first wave of droid forces have already started marching towards the Republic. Here comes the Republic attack squad in the gunship, but somehow part of the gunship blew up before they reached the landing point, so the Jedi helped all the clones jump out at the last second before the gunship came plummeting down into the ravine below. But now the clone attack squad is exposed. AATs and an army of droids are about to fire on the survivors. But Commander Gree calls in reinforcements, and suddenly multiple ATTEs and fighter tanks are dropped in from above, along with multiple clone troopers being deployed from the tanks. Now, the Republic has a chance of winning, but back behind droid army lines, General Grievous is commanding his elite squad of commando droids to sneak behind the main clone forces. The droid troop carrier is about to deploy 30 more battle droids for reinforcements, but is quickly destroyed by an ATTE. The tactical droid, realizing the droids will never win if those ATTEs remain standing, commands all of the buzz droids to target the pilots of the ATTEs. And even though the ATTEs were now being overrun by the buzz droids, they had already taken out a lot of the main droid forces and were being used as cover by the remaining Republic forces. General Grievous called in the second and final wave of droids with a ton of super battle droids, but it was too late because the clone forces already took out all of the droids' heavy weaponry. Droid forces were being depleted fast and all hope seemed lost for the droid army. The clones, realizing they had the upper hand, started rushing towards the droids, wanting to end the conflict as soon as possible. But then General Grievous pressed a button on his command center, and suddenly both remaining Republic fighter tanks exploded, and clones were being blasted down from behind quickly by commando droids. Commander Gree and the Jedi General formed a circle with the surviving clones to fight off the enemy attacks from all sides, but their forces quickly were destroyed, with just Commander Gree, the Jedi, and Clone Trooper Fuse remaining. Then all the droids suddenly stopped firing, and General Grievous marched up towards the last clones and Jedi. Suddenly, Fuse stepped forward and joined General Grievous, with the Jedi and Commander Gree realizing that's how the gunship and Republic fighter tanks exploded so quickly. Fuse planted his detonators on them from the start. He was a double agent working for Grievous. Learning this, the Jedi and Commander Gree were very angry and charged at Fuse, but General Grievous was waiting. He quickly ignited all 4 of his lightsabers and destroyed Commander Gree and the Jedi. The droid army won the battle, but not before the clones got a distress signal sent to the Jedi Council. If you want to see a part 2 where I build a fake LEGO clone army that the Jedi Council will send into battle to go up against our droid army, make sure to leave a like on the video and comment down below if you thought this was a fun video idea. With that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Have an amazing day. Peace out.